We're live, y'all. Morning.
Oh, we're live already?
Just now,
Oh.
right when you came out the door. Welcome, guys, to this live stream, August 30th. Doing an hour earlier because my schedule has been all wacky. At least my sleeping schedule. I've been up real early, filming all day most days. So here we are. I thought I'd be up real early and we come and get in a live stream with you guys. And a lot of people were saying that they were going to bed last time, so we'll see. I announced it yesterday. Let's see who joins. But we're here, and we're gonna do a little live stream for you guys, and then we're gonna get this videos out and keep on plugging away. Get you guys back here. I know that we didn't have any videos this last month, so probably why there's nobody here right now. You know, welcome. We're here. We're live from Lao and Luang Prabang. Let's see. Yo, I'm gonna keep it on that because I like. Good morning, Rick. We did a little earlier. I think you might have been one of the guys last time that said you had to go bed early. I'd originally done it earlier because I thought, hey, the East Coast, it's quite late. Like, who's gonna tune in if it's 10 o'clock? I'd be in bed. But I used to do it at like 5 in the morning, and it seemed like there was more people around 8. But I think 7 is pretty good. At least the people back on the East Coast, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you can still join. So it's good to see you, man. It's good to see you. We got the new video out yesterday. We're gonna try to get videos out every day. Luckily, I've got we can do the live stream. So if I don't get a video out today, then we've got the live stream to kind of take its place for today. But I have high hopes that I can I do have high hopes that I can get some videos out at least every other day, if not sometimes every day, because I didn't do any videos for a whole month. I got so many incredible videos for you, Rick, and everybody else that watches this. I got lots of videos coming. I've been having so much fun just doing what I wanted to do, like traveling and just diving into all the things that I've been interested in that I couldn't do up until just recently, until now. So, question. Well, it's all you, man. You can ask what. This is you and me time, Rick. You can ask away. Since there's nobody else here, you may as well ask all your questions. This is better than paying for a one-on-one. Question: how hard is it to get that visa or whatever you need to live in Laos? Well, to be completely honest, if you want to get that visa, it's gonna be really challenging. You're gonna have to give them a whopping 6. Well, it depends if you want the work permit and stay permit. If you just want the stay permit, no work permit. I wanted the work permit to make it legal. So if I was doing any work, nobody could, question that. Which, I'm working, so I may as well have it as a digital nomad. But it's $700 for me, 600, 590, 690, 590 if you don't get the work permit. You just get a stay and visa, and you got to give them your passport picture and your passport. So I built it up to surprise you, but it wasn't much of a surprise. It's super easy, man. It's silly. It's how easy it is because of how hard it is in Thailand with people wanting to do the visas there for how long, and it's always been hard. And then Vietnam used to be really easy. When I first went to Vietnam, man, you could get a 1-year visa for nothing in Vietnam, but then it got really hard, and then once COVID hit, it got crazy. So Laos is one of the few places that a visa is now easier than it ever was before. It's so easy. In the past, when I was researching Laos, it's like I couldn't find anything online, and it seemed very difficult. I even overstayed my first visa when I got here, thinking, "Oh, I got to go across the border," and it was just like not working out properly to get across the border at that time. and I could have just went to the immigration office and renewed it twice. And instead I paid, overstay fee. And I could have just went to the immigration office where I was at in Vientiane. There's immigrations all over Laos in the major cities, and you can just go in there and renew it if you're on a tourist visa for less than $40. The original one is a little over 40. I think when you renew it, it's a little below 40. And but you don't need that if you get a year visa, and the year visa is very, very easy. So if you just want to retire from the army and you don't want to work, just pay your 590 and you're golden, man. You're gonna have a multiple entry visa that you can renew within the country. The first part is annoying. Look, so many countries do this. I don't understand. It's frustrating to me because in the U.S., I mean, it's very hard to become a U.S. To get a visa in the U.S. So it makes sense. But the U.S. doesn't make you leave the country. You have to leave the country here. In so many countries, they make you leave the country to do your visa, and for some countries, you got to do it every year. It's super annoying. Like, oh, you got to go out of the country and come back through. Like, but Lao, you don't. You do the visa. You can just give it to your visa agent, whoever does it for you, or go try to do it yourself if you want to spend your time doing that. And then they take care of it for you. So very convenient. I'm very happy to have my 1-year visa now, and next year I'll just hand it into the visa guy and pay my 590, and we're good for another year. Thanks for asking. I don't mind answering this question because it is one of the main things that people wonder. I get 3 checks a month, VA and retired Army and Social Security. So I don't know how it's set up here, but in Thailand, I know like they've had people there for it, retirees. Thailand is well versed in the foreigners wanting to live there, and now Laos is actually at that point where living here is very, very doable. It's not really any different than the Isan, like the northeastern part of Thailand. Like, in my opinion, it's not. I mean, it has its differences, but you know what I mean. So I had people over there. They just had their Social Security check deposited right to their bank account there. It's really easy here. Once you get your visa, you can open your bank account, which I already had one from my last job. But I had my bank account, and then when I want to send money over, if you're talking about your 3 checks from the VA, Army, and Social Security, you can just send up to $5,000 from your U.S. account for a $1.99 transaction fee through MoneyGram. They'll send it right to your USD account in the bank here. So you open both accounts. You open a GIB account and a USD account and a bot account if you want. Some people have them all. But yeah, definitely go through Chris. That's who I went through. That's who I recommend to people. Some people have said he's expensive, but I mean, good luck going to do it yourself, and good luck trusting somebody else, man. That's all I say. Like, I don't know if it's expensive because I didn't dive really deep into it because it's not something that I want to spend my time on too much. Everybody's trying to save a buck on some stuff. Like, that's the silly one, man. You want to go deal with sitting in the government offices and trying to figure that stuff out? Pay the money. But there's still people that'll be online talking about this. So it's expensive. But I mean, when you just give them your stuff and you don't have to worry about nothing, and he gives it back to you all done, and then you pay, I think you're pretty safe. Like, so many agents say they can do stuff, and then who knows down the road if it's going to be done and what you got to. I just trust him. He's done very well. He's well known here, and the fact that they do it before they take your money is a big one for me. So I definitely recommend going through Chris. I got mine back. It was quick. Everything was just like it was the last time. He's very, very good. And you don't really need hardly anything here. So, like, there's really no excuse not to get your visa like that, because you just give them your passport and your photos, and you're done. It don't matter if you're old as dirt. I've been out overseas so long. I enjoy meeting people, all ages, all walks of life, all languages, cultures. Don't matter. Good conversation. We can learn from something new from everybody we meet. So come out here, man. I got room for you if you do, because big news coming. You guys will see a lot of the videos coming up. I hope I don't bore people. It's going to be a lot of housing and accommodation because, as I mentioned to people before, you had asked about housing and accommodation. I wasn't in the market, and you're not in the market looking for a house. Sounds miserable. You sit there and look through ads and deal with all the things that go into it. No. So I said, when I actually am looking, then you guys will see that content. And because, which I like, because now it puts me in a position to like not be lazy about doing things that maybe in the past I wouldn't put as much effort into the looking for a house. But because I'm doing it for you guys as well, I'm going deep into it. So we're getting all the details, and you'll find out real quick that there's going to be two prices for housing here. You're going to have your housing with a landlord that can service you in English, and housing with a landlord that only speaks Lao. You can choose which one you want. If you want the English service from a landlord that speaks English, I'm not saying that the service is going to be any better. I'm just saying that they can speak some English. Uh, you know, where the other one you're probably gonna have to use all Google Translate, and it's gonna be very difficult. You probably have to have a friend to help you. This one that speaks English, it's not gonna be perfect. The English ain't perfect, so it's up to you. But the price difference is massive. I stopped looking at all the English postings and English groups, and only did the Lao groups and the Lao postings. And if I saw that they had the posting in Lao, but they also posted English, I didn't even look. I didn't really talk to them about that, but it worked out really well because so I rented this house, 2 bedrooms. You guys have seen it. It's a beautiful home right next to the river. You can see out the windows. The river's over here. It's beautiful, but they want $550 for the month, and I think for a lot of Americans that's a great deal. It's got massive amount of space, living room, 2 bedrooms with bathrooms in the aircon. No aircon in the living room, but you can always put that in. It's really nice, but is it $550 nice? We paid $400 for the month, but then I saw them posting it for $550. It's like, lady just really no. She was contacting me like, "You sure you don't want to stay?" And then people are pretty desperate to get people to stay, but they also know that they can get Westerners, Americans, and Chinese for a much higher price. So let me just put it this way: this same house that I looked at other places in Lao, not in English, instead of 550 listing, it probably listed for like 350. So it's a massive difference. But as Americans, most people can afford it. I'm not trying to knock anybody's business. That's the last thing I do here. Everybody needs to make a living. And I mean, sometimes trying to explain things to people, you're better off just like politely declining rather than explaining. But I like to be very transparent. So I just told the landlord, she kept sending me stuff. I just said, look, like, you're running a business. You can make a very good profit off of selling to renting to foreigners and Chinese because you do speak English and you should make more. But I can't justify that difference. Like, I speak Lao, so why would I pay nearly double the price for the same thing? Um, yeah. So she didn't message me since. Hasn't got any water or nothing. Like some of the stuff here, she's just ignoring me. So yeah, whatever. You can't win them all, but being transparent works for me. I don't want to keep being like, oh no, thanks, I'm not interested. Like, look, stop messaging me all these places because this is the bottom line. You know, you deserve to make your money. Everybody deserves to make a living. It's to her, but not on me. I've learned the language, so I get the benefit of having the cheaper place. Like, but I'm still gonna put her home online and advertise it because for a lot of people, it doesn't matter. That price isn't a big deal. They are willing to pay it because they have the service from an English-speaking landlord, which is very helpful if you don't speak the language and you don't have any friends to help you. Yeah. So most of what I can talk about right now is just going to be housing because that's what I've been out doing this last month. My uncle's been here. We've been in Luang Prabang, and for me, it is very important because I need a place to stay. when it comes to this month's rental is up. So it was really motivating to like we need to find a place that we can kind of close on within a month. And I think we might have found a place, guys. I'm kind of excited to show you what we got. I'm single. So you are married to a Lao or single? I am single. But this is a question I get every day here because you speak loud and they just automatically, next question is, oh, you have a Lao wife. No, probably one of the few that's not the case. But yeah, I would highly recommend if you're looking for a place when you get here that you have a Lao friend help you so you can get a better price. Because you're going to pay $152, $100 more for an English speaking landlord. Is that really the value? Or it just doesn't matter. A lot of people just don't care because it's like, what? The rent's so cheap here. Yeah, it is. It's pretty cheap. Like, I guess a little teaser since you guys joined the live stream, and this isn't going out to everybody. I guess I'm able to tease on here more and give you guys more information out of appreciation for joining and your curiosity and love for Lao. We've closed on this house that has 5 bedrooms and we will be opening those bedrooms for folks that are watching to come stay with us. So if you're interested in coming to Luang Prabang, you're interested in coming to Lao, I will have 3 bedrooms available. They are going to be standard bedrooms, guys. So like this isn't me trying to make money. If you guys want to come to Luang Prabang and stay here, great. But if you're coming and you're expecting like the Ritz or you know what I mean, then you guys know me well enough. Like I take care of people, but I guess I gotta say that beforehand, like if somebody's gonna be a pain, you're gonna be asked to leave. You know what I mean? Like I'm not putting it on Airbnb. I'm not putting it on Booking. I'm not putting it anywhere. This is for good people that want to come to Lao and have a good time. And I get see a lot of people complaining about stuff not being Western standards. You come here, you in the jungle, and you got a price that's like 100th of what you pay back home, and then you're like, well, the quality of the building and the cleanliness isn't at American standards. Like, you want American standards, you're gonna pay American prices. So you want to stay like that here, you can go pay for the hotels that would have that $75, $100 a night or more. But I have a room with a bathroom in it. Yeah, it's going to be standard little bathroom, just like the toilet with the shower there. So it is kind of annoying. One of the annoying things about Lao is when you shower and you have the bathroom's wet when you go to the toilet at night. But I was thinking to solve that, a lot of places put like a squeegee in there. I know people don't want to do that, but I do it. If you don't want to have your feet wet every time you go to the bathroom at night, you just squeegee it real quick. Squeegee the floor real quick, takes 2 seconds. But yeah, so that'll be like kind of the only downside of these rooms that I'll have available for everybody is that the bathroom is just small. It's just a toilet with the shower head sink and everything. But you'll have your own room in a house with me and Martin and access to, ask us what there is to do and where to go. We're not going to be living in the middle of the city. I appreciate that, Rick. Hell, if they don't like the standard, then go back to the US or somewhere else. Yeah, it's really interesting to see people like you don't typically get people that are looking. You get people that have been here that talk shit, and it's kind of sad because you get a lot of like Lao Americans or Hmong Americans that come on like, just be really careful and make sure you check places out because this, that, and the other. It's like, dude, you're in Lao. Everything's dirt cheap, and you're gonna rag on them about the jungle creeping in on them. Like, you try to maintain your house in the jungle. Good luck, man. Like, it's a daily chore. The jungle will swallow your home and everything alive if you don't do something with it every single day. And yeah, the building quality isn't the same as the US, but you can find it. You can find what you want. If you want local prices, local living. It's there. If you want extravagant U.S. standards, you can get that for cheaper than you can get in the U.S. But hell, I think staying in a home with two people that love Lao and can recommend places to you, all that. You can go stay at a hotel with really great service too. I'm not gonna lie. Like there's some great people show you around. Like Lao people are amazing. But yeah, I'm just offer it. Those that wanna come stay, it won't be in the middle of the city. So if those that just want to walk everywhere, it's good that you find something in the city probably because it's gonna be it's right out. I don't know. Nobody knows New Bronx yet, so I can't really say where it's at. But there's a five-way intersection by the new bridge, and it's right up the road. It's in the Tai Lu village actually, so there is walkable stuff. If somebody wants to come stay, you can walk over to the Tai Lu village. They have their museum slash like textile, handicraft shops. They sell stuff, Barnes Boston stuff there, so we can decorate our place. But I love it. It's a great little village. We have a real road, which is a lot of times not the case in Laos. You might have like a dirt road to get to your place, which it kind of stinks in the rain. It's just like a mud puddle trying to get to your place. So we got a real road to our place. We got 5 bedrooms. We've got 2 balconies on the second floor that overlooking the mountainside. Like there's mountains surrounding us, so you have a mountain view 360. And living room upstairs, living room downstairs. Aircon, and will be aircon in every unit, of course. There'll be aircon in every room. I wouldn't expect you to be able to adjust to the heat like that, although I don't really use it now already. And we're in August, guys, and Luang Prabang is this nice. How nice is the weather in Luang Prabang, Martin?
Pretty nice. Yesterday was a little rough.
He gets real hot in the afternoon when we go out and do stuff. It gets warm in the afternoon, but it's pretty incredible that I'm sitting here in a shirt, usually with no shirt because it's so hot. No, at home, in a shirt with the overhead fan, no fan directly blowing on me, and I'm not breaking a sweat, which is unheard of for Lao. So, New Rubang's pretty nice. Yeah, we got to install a bunch of stuff. We're gonna put the hot water heaters, the aircon in the bedrooms, but I think 2 of the bedrooms don't. One or 2 don't have a bathroom, but you'd have there's 2 bathrooms in like the kitchen, and there's 2 bathrooms over there that are available for the bedrooms that don't. And those bathrooms are actually big. We might have to change the toilets because they are squatters. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited to show you guys all the houses we looked at, and kind of take people on that journey and see what people think we should choose, and then show them which one we chose. You guys already know. So a little secret for you guys, but we were really really tempted by this one outside the city. There's up a really crazy road. Yeah, it was off the main road, past the airport, and you go up a dirt road like pretty far, and then you got to go up the mountainside on the dirt road. But the view was spectacular. It was one of a kind. It was a 2-bedroom with a huge living room. At the end of the day, the problem with that was we planned to have friends, family, subscribers. Like, I want to have an extra room that anybody wants to come stay can stay with us. I didn't think we'd have a bunch of rooms like this, but I was pretty set on like having an extra room, and that house that we really wanted, and we actually gave them a deposit, which we lost someone. So we were really keen to spruce that house up with the view. It had a view of Golden Elephant Mountain with the temple on top. It's just gorgeous. The temples on the top of the mountains in Luang Prabang are something special. And I'm not a temple guy. Like, I've been in Asia for how long? I've seen a million temples. That doesn't really excite me, but the temples here excite me because I guess I am kind of a mountain boy, so like I get to jump on my mountain bike and bike around the mountains and hills, and then you get to the top, and these temples here are spectacular. They're really special, and some of them even have like northern Lao, like the old Lana language, which for me makes it even more interesting. So this is my field of study from university. Like I love all the different languages and cultures and all that here. So this is a melting pot of that here in Luang Prabang. This is really, I'm living the dream right now when it comes to like my area of interests. Let me see what Rick, what are you saying? Rick, you leaving me? Don't leave me. I'll be right back. I'm not leaving. I got to answer a text message about my mom. She's not me. Whoa. Well, man, you do what you got to do. I hope she's okay. Yeah. So we've just been really trying to negotiate on the house. They came down to is that one house that we really liked, and we put the deposit on up on the mountainside. The bedrooms were tiny, and we were finding that with a lot of homes. Like Lao people don't tend to spend much time in a bedroom, and they will probably have just like a small little floor type of mattress that they use here. It's like very typical. People just sleeping on the floor with like that type of floor mattress. So they're not really like planning on having a bed frame with a queen or king size bed and in a closet and all that stuff. They're just like throw like down the mattress on the floor. Maybe they have, I don't know, they're just not really looking at it like we are. They're like, maybe they'll have some a closet in there or something to keep their clothes in, but it's not like the area most people. I guess they do. A lot of people do. I don't know. They just do tiny bedrooms, and then a lot of times you spend most of your time in the the guest room or the porch, really, like, which for me is perfect. I grew up in a big family, grew up in the neighborhood, and I'm super happy to just have neighbors and people and everybody hanging out on the porch. I love that about like little community, about the neighborhood. Just love it. I plan to spend. So that's why I love the view so much, and we're so keen on that because we know that we'll spend most of our time out on that porch. Like I would even put my desk out there, and that'll be the case in this next house because we got a view. I was just sent that deposit and like, oh man, did we act too fast? Like it's got like there's just so much to try to negotiate with the owners. It was almost like, oh, I know a lot of people are pretty open to stuff, but it's like, hey, how can we like partition the living room off into another bedroom because they were so small. Yeah. Anyways, it came down. There was a lot of problems, and I'm like, I'm not gonna force that on myself. Let me take a look. And I opened Facebook to see that the agent I was using posted another house. And I immediately contacted her. I was like, that house is going to go quick. I know this village. It's in Ban Panom, which is right. We're in Ban Wing Mai. Because in Lao, if you're not familiar, everything's done by village, which is really hard when I got here. Because I was used to Thailand, and like usually people asking like, what province you from? Jangwat, right, in Thai. But here they always ask you like Bandai, you Bandai. Like what village are you in? So yeah, the village is what people go by, and there's no real maps. When I got here, I thought, oh, okay, it goes by villages. It's like Vietnam, like Ho Chi Minh City. It's districts, villages, right? Well, in Vietnam, you get a map. It shows you the districts. In Laos, there's nothing. There's nothing. It's like everybody's asking you where you live. You're talking about this village, that village, when referring to directions, and you're like, I'm looking up online trying to find out. Okay, at least give me an idea what the village names are, some rough estimate. It is very challenging. I got a map, but like the boundaries are this old, outdated. Like things have developed, and yeah, it's very challenging. But being that I've been looking for houses and out on my bike every single day, I pretty much know Luang Prabang better than I ever knew Vientiane. Honestly, like you could pick a spot on the map and put me there with my bike and no map, and I know I can get where I needed to go. It's pretty incredible that how fast you can learn a place if you just get out and about, and So I knew that this house was in a good spot. It's right around the corner from us. Warren Bounty and I there. We'll go around the Temple Mountain here, and it's just on the other side of the temple. If there, when they finish this road right here next to us that comes to the new bridge, we'll actually have a through street that goes to Les Residents. It's a very nice service department right on the river. I highly recommend. I'll be meeting him and doing a video on his place because it's super cool. It'll go this road once it's finished and goes. It'll go through to there and it'll be to our house. But right now we only can go on the main road all the way around to get over there. But it's a great village. It's the Tailu village. It's quiet. It's beautiful. You have lots of the Tailu style houses, so like the traditional stone bottom and then wood top, which is what we would have loved too. I was looking at a lot of those. Yeah. So we just like we got to get there and look at it. I knew it was gonna go fast. You're not really competing with you're not competing with Westerners when it comes to housing. You're competing with the Chinese. So if it's something good, they're gonna come and snatch it up, and not for a short time either. It's gonna be like 5-10 year. Like my agent showed me a place that was 3 bedrooms, and they're all tiny. I was really not a fan of it. It's just like no view. It had like a shop front, like they used to have like a shop, like little selling, bits like people do in the front of their house here. But they had a Chinese people come through, like, yeah, we'll take it. We want 10 years. Like, we can't do a 10-year lease. They did a 5-year lease. You imagine, like, that's crazy. The rent is so cheap. If you locked it in for 5-10 years, these people are losing. I don't know if they could be making money with how the inflation is here. It's just up and down. Like, yeah, I'd imagine if I locked in this lease for this place for a couple of years, they wouldn't really be making as much by the year 2 or 3, at least 3. So we got in there, we looked at it, and immediately it was like, yeah, we want this place. Huge garage. The only downside is it doesn't have a garden area, which is really a downside. We like to sit out and be in like the garden area, but there's a little lot next door that's not sold, and I asked them who owns it. Says it's a separate owner, but that they'd probably rent it out for nothing for us to just be able to do a garden there, which would make it perfect. Let's get back to your comments. Hello, Barry. I'll be visiting at the end of September for a few months to visit my wife. Hopefully, the wife and I get to meet in person in between the 2 months. Well, if you're here, I'd sure hope you could meet me. I mean, I'll be here. I will be here. I'm not going anywhere. And I'll be in Luang Prabang, which another exciting part about being in Luang Prabang I thought was meeting people, which was weird and positive. I don't know if it helped me or if it hindered me. I met people here. They were all lovely people, but it did kind of like make things very surreal about putting my life online. I'm not going to lie. Like there were moments where like, I need to make a video and it's like, wow, like this is real. Like I've had 4 or 5 people recognize me here in Luang Prabang. It's like, oh, okay. Like you feel a little bit like your privacy is gone, But at the same time, I love sharing Lao. And I love me. Everybody's been so kind. It's just like humbling. Like, oh wow, you watch my channel, like you enjoy it. That's really nice. Like, then also it's like, wow, people always recognizing me out here. Like, yeah, my life is on show a little bit. So, yeah, it was very positive overall. Just a little bit weird for me. And let's see. But please definitely come to Luang Prabang. You probably want to stay in your own place. You got your wife. But yeah, we have rooms available. Hopefully by the end of September, we'll have everything all ready to go. We've got to do a lot of fixing up, adding aircon units and hot water heaters and this, that, and the other. Sabay you di mi hang bo, you Hawaii, bin now day. How long do you stay in Thailand? Do you speak Thai? Yeah, I'm fluent in Thai. Now, when I got here, it was really challenging because my Thai wanted to come out when I try to speak Lao, and now when I try to speak Thai, my Lao comes out, and it would require me to be switching between both of them daily. But I don't worry about it. I used to worry about this in the past because I've been a big language nerd for so long, and I think it really did hinder me because I was like, young mind. I thought, oh, this is, learning a language takes forever. I'm never going to be like, how could I possibly do all these languages and be good at them all? Like, after learning Thai, I just knew Thai was my first. Thai and Isan kind of like the same time, but my Thai developed a lot more because I wasn't using Isan. But yeah, then I realized, who cares if I get good at it and then I don't use it, then I've noticed that as long as I use it and whenever I can, and I still have some resources, I'll study here and there. But as soon as I'm put back into the language, it comes back very quickly. So I just really highly recommend people study and not get discouraged that language learning is a lifetime process. But it's okay. Whenever you get the chance, you'll be surprised at how much the language comes back to you, how quickly it comes back to you. It's there. You just gotta keep refreshing it. So yeah, I speak Thai ก็พูดไทยได้เหมือนกัน พูดไทยได้เหมือนกันแต่ไม่รู้จะติดสำเนียงลาวหรือเปล่า พูดแค่นี้ก็ยากแล้วอยากว่าวแล้วอยากว่าวแล้วอยากว่าวแล้ว Good morning, Zakiel. Good morning. Good morning. I thought it would be fun to make some videos like going out and only speaking Thai to people, just to show people that, like, people always ask, like, oh, if you just use Thai in Laos, is it going to be okay? Like, Thai people ask that, and other people, yes, they understand 100%. They actually will probably understand your broken Thai better than your broken Lao. Why? Because they've listened to, they watch Thai and listen to Thai every single day here from radio and TV and social media. So yeah, like they really understand Thai here, and it would be a fun video, but it does feel weird going to speak Thai when people speak Lao. I don't know. Would you guys be interested in a video of like, oh, speaking Lao all day? I don't know. It's just so much freaking work. Like, speak Lao all day, and I gotta translate everything. It's a lot of work, but I mean, it wouldn't be hard to make a video just doing Lao or Thai or Chinese. I think it's more fun this way though. Like, my feeling towards this channel and what I wanted was to make using multiple using languages, people just like an everyday thing, because people for many centuries learned many different languages and it was not a thing. And now I don't know why it's such a thing. Like, you meet a lot of Europeans that speak a lot of languages, and it's just they went around and used it in different countries close by. And you imagine the states, each state spoke a different language. I guess they kind of speak differently. But if you could go to each state, that'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? So I just want to show that speaking the language is like a normal everyday thing, and it just increases your quality of life so much. And I mean, obviously, you now have so many more people that you can learn from and become friends with and build relationships with. So yeah, just encourage people to get out there and talk and laugh at your mistakes. I make mistakes every day, and it's pretty hard on myself. So like, that's probably the biggest challenge, in my opinion. It's just not being so dang hard on yourself and making mistakes. So yeah, man, come to Laos, come learn some. But Rick's asked how long I stayed in Thailand. I was in Thailand total. My first stint was like a year and a half, more than a year and a half, closer to 2 years, getting closer to 2 years. And I did an intern there. I was an intern there during my last year of school for a couple months. I went there on holiday. So in total, I'd say, and I went back to work there for like 9 months, a year. So in total, I probably spent like three, 3.5, 4 years in Thailand. That's pretty generous. But I went to school back home and did an Asian Studies degree. My degree was in this region. I did an emphasis in Southeast Asia, and most of my closest friends were Thai at that time. That's why I am able to learn Lao so fast as well. Well, because I learned Lao from the very beginning. Like my very basic Thai and basic Lao when I first started, they were like the same, because I was in Isan. I don't know. A part of me just feels like I absorbed that Lao Isan. I absorbed that Lao from the very beginning. So, and I always was super curious about it. So when I decided to turn it on and like really try to figure it out when I was coming here, it was, yeah, the floodgates opened. It's just like started just absorbing everything. It was awesome. It was an awesome experience because I had been so like distant from Thai and Lao and everything before. I decided that this was it. I needed to go for it. So, yeah. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Luang. Here we're going to teach you the first bit of Northern Lao that we've learned, which is oh, oh. Wait, let's get it right. Han kai ya, ya, ya. Hasa luang pabang. Hasa luang pabang. Oh, it's a different tone. It's not like a clean oh, it's like a oh, yeah, kai. All the low rising tones are changed. But so the first one is instead of saying duh or nah in Thai or ta in Thai or ta in Lao. So in Lao you say ngam ta duh, ngam ta ta. But in northern Luang Prabang Lao you say ngam ngam ta o sab ta o. Oh, oh, I'm saying oh, oh, oh. It's hard to get that tone. It's a different tone. Ask people, where's the pharmacy? Han kaya, you say Han kaya, you Han kaya. Tones is so different, but it sounds beautiful. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. It's a very like soft melodic accent up here. Different from the South. South was definitely not as easy for me to pick up on. It's definitely not as easy. Yeah, that's what we're doing, guys. We're in 43 minutes. Anybody have any questions about life in Laos? What's going on in Luang Prabang? Ooh, I've got one for you. While you guys type out your question. We have the boat racing festival coming up. Being that I'm in Luang Prabang, I'm now in the cultural hub of Laos, and it shows. Everywhere you go, there's language bits. There's lots of Chinese, of course. The more north you go in Lao, so like I don't know. It's kind of both sides because the Chinese are coming up from Cambodia, all their casino and business they got going on there, and they're coming up south of Thailand, starting to build that stuff, and south of Laos, and then they're coming to north of Laos. We're not gonna say that online now, because it is in a way. This is all I'm gonna say one time. Lao in a way is a little bit of a city-state of China, and don't hate me for that, but we can't say those things often online because I love Lao and I don't want any problems. But yeah, it's kind of sad to see. But learn Chinese. It's a great language. It's very fascinating. Communicate with people. So back to being a cultural hub, there's a boat racing festival, and it starts actually right next to where I live at the new bridge, which is perfect. I'm gonna go do some test runs with my drone since I've been a very lazy drone driver, and you very rarely seen drone shots in my videos because lazy. Frankly, I just really enjoy filming and like try to interact with people and not having to like, yeah. I guess I could ask somebody to hold my camera while I do the drone. Because here's what happens: you get the camera, you have some people come around, you put the camera down. Now you put the drone up, and you get a massive crowd of people, and I'm not getting any of that footage. And I just like talking to people more than I sitting. The drone is cool. You get great footage, but I'm excited for this boat racing festival. I'm hoping there's not any crazy stuff that they got hanging down. That's what my biggest thing is. Like, I just don't want the drone to hit a wire of some sort and then goodbye. Goodbye. Yeah, Lao and China have deep communist ties and friendships, but yeah, intermarrying here in Lao is not a new thing. Is very much not a new thing. Dude, Lao, China friends for 1,000 years. I mean, friends. It's that's a very loose term for China. Lao. I don't know so much friends, but yeah, just like I wouldn't say so much friends with Thailand and Laos. It's not friends, but people have been migrating the whole time. The only time people aren't happy is when people migrate, and then so the issue with Thailand, and the only reason I bring it up is because the real issue is that Chinese people, and this is the same with I'm not saying that people don't do this all over the world. It's just like Americans go to Mexico and open all these American business, and they service all their American customers, and Mexican people don't see it. I saw that down in Mexico. That's a big issue here. The Chinese people don't spend any money here. They don't come here to learn nothing. They don't come here to be a part of the culture. They just come with their big group. They go to the Chinese-owned hotel. They go to the Chinese restaurant, eat Chinese food owned by Chinese people, and they go to the Chinese tour group, in their Chinese-owned rented buses, and then they go back to China. So that's the only real yeah, no problems. Just come be involved with being here, and it's kind of like Americans though. Just take your cruise, take your little American vacation. They're taking their Chinese vacation, so there's no hard feelings. And that, actually, what I love about Laos more so than Thailand, honestly, is that in Laos everybody's like, yeah, we've all been mingling and intermarrying and together for so long. Uh, uh, they don't mind. It's a melting pot to them. Whereas in Thailand, very much like, these are the others. Like, we're Thai people. This is our country, and the Chinese born, yeah, the Chinese are the Chinese immigrants. They are owning up all the business. Like, Chinese. I mean, a lot of the Thai people actually protested not that long ago because they're coming here and they're taking up everything. They, like I said, they get the businesses, service Chinese customers, charge them more than local prices. Like this restaurant down here I went and ate at, it was terrible. Chinese restaurant. They charge in crazy prices, so they're making all this money. Then they just keep expanding, and that was the Thai people's problem. Like, you can't just take over, So, but yeah, it's awesome to have a melting pot of everything. It's so cool. I love the Lao people's general attitude towards it. It's like we have all these ethnic groups and different cultures and languages, but we're all Lao. It's cool. Whereas I didn't get that feel in Thailand as much. Like, we're Thai and these are the others. So everybody's treated very nicely, even if you're different here, which I really love. And they work together. Yeah. I mean, I gotta go back to that because that last part, they do not see themselves as occupied. They definitely see themselves as being occupied here from Chinese people. So that's for sure. But they don't feel that way about like the other ethnic tribes, but they definitely feel that way about the Chinese, because the Chinese just they there's a lot of good people, but there's a lot of people trying to evade taxes and do trafficking, and there's a lot of problems with the mafia and Chinese here. But I love the Chinese. I speak Chinese. I love the culture. There's good and bad of all of it. So, but yeah, for a lot of people here, Chinese are not included as like Lao with the different ethnic groups. They're definitely the outsiders coming in and trying to take over. But it's it's happening all over the world. It's not like they're not doing this in Africa, and it's not like the U.S. and everybody's doing this all over the world. We should be used to this by now. Yeah, it's typical living next to a very large space of three superpowers: Russia, China, USA. Well, yeah, China isn't. It is. What's up, Barry? What's up, my man? Bashing on China hurts all Asians. Nobody bashes. I'm not, but facts are facts. What's up? Nobody bashing. I don't believe in bashing, but I definitely believe in discourse and discussion. Like, yeah, just talk about it. There's nobody's getting upset. I think the only time you can say bashing is if people are speaking ill will. I don't have any ill will. I speak, like, that's the thing. I speak the language. You don't put your time and effort and curiosity into something, and you have bad feelings about them. No, so no bashing. It's all, and I don't know. Let's try not to make too broad a statements. Hurts all Asians. What does that have to do with anything? Good morning. Also, your channel as well. Yeah, good morning. Good morning. I live in Canada. We're all practically owned by the Americans. One way or another, USA owns Canada. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think we got a little bit into politics, but I don't mind because I don't feel offended. But as long as people can talk about everything as its own topic, and it's not like you're not religious about a topic. You know what I mean? Because people will get religious about their diet. They get super religious about their politics. They get religious about their religion. And if it becomes like people not being able to have a polite conversation, that's when, like, yeah. But I think we're very good here. Everybody's very nice, and we don't got any problems with, I think we can talk about everything out there, guys. Just don't be offended or hurt, and it's just a discussion. I mean, but truth is debatable. That's why I went off of that. Truth is debatable. I've had plenty of people tell me that I'm a horrible person for eating meat, and that soy has as a complete protein, and like, I don't care what you eat, but don't preach to me. Like, just the same, like, I don't care. They're like, this is truth. You're not accepting truth. It's like, no, somebody else's truth might be they think eating meat is the only healthy way. I don't know. It's up to individuals what, So be open to let everybody speak their mind and not be upset. That's how I see it. I agree that average Chinese try to take advantage of opportunity in all countries they migrate and live in. I think they themselves think they're not. It's a cultural thing for them. Yeah, I don't think that Chinese people have bad intentions. Just like people get upset when they're in China, like they're doing this, that, and the other. They don't give a fuck about people. I'm like, hold on a second. It's not that they don't care. It's just not. It's not part of the culture. You can't say somebody doesn't care when it's not a part of the culture. There's no bad or good associated with that behavior. It's just normal. So you're bringing your own feelings, your own views, and you're applying it to them. So yeah, I don't think people have bad intentions in general. Everybody's just trying to look at the base of everything. People just want to take care of themselves and their family. So, right, that's the people just want to take care of themselves and their family. So even with the Thai people protesting in Thailand about the Chinese doing what they do here, or in doing the same thing in Thailand and here, I still can't be upset with somebody for trying to better their lives and their families' lives, But that's one thing that is important to me with people coming here is I've had so many people be asking me, don't you want to invest in this and do this business and that business? No, what I want to do is to be able to send people to the local businesses. Look, there's this awesome business, that awesome business. Even people asking me about doing the guest house and stuff. Like, yeah, if I want to make money, I'd go put it on Agoda. But this, no, I'm trying to open rooms. Yeah, it'd be great if I could pay my rent. Honestly, all that would for me, if I hit my rent, the rent is paid for the month. I don't really care about having any more people in there. Like, so you can take it for what it is. Like, am I a bad person for wanting to host a couple people to pay my rent for the month? That's up to you to decide. But I just want to have it available to people that watch my channel. So I figure if they're watching my channel, that's already screening out a lot of the questionable people, and you can have good people that also are very interested in Lao and love Lao, and they can come and stay with us and get all the insights on what's going on here. But I'm not going to charge a ton of money, and yeah, I'm going to recommend all the local businesses for people to stay at. Whereas most places, they do a guest house, they want to try to keep every single dollar they can. A restaurant, motorcycle rental. I don't need all that. I don't need the trouble. Like, this is the whole Buddhism thing, right? People ask me if I'm Buddhist. Like, no, but I find that one of the main teachings of Buddhism sure has a profound application in life, which is the lack of attachment. I don't need to be attached to all these things. That's where you feel down and sad. You got all these attachments to worry about. I want to be free. So, no. A taxi from my place into the city is going to cost somebody like $2, $2.50. So you may as well take a taxi, go walk around, and come back. Then rent a motorbike that you've never rode a motorbike anywhere, and you're going to risk riding it here. Anyhow, with the Chinese there, have you seen the better changes in the rural areas of? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not sure what you mean. The Chinese there, have you seen the better changes in the rural areas of Laos? Can you ask it? Can you phrase the question in another way? I'm not quite sure if I'm understanding. Like, the Chinese are bettering the rural areas? Because that's definitely not the case. I don't like to talk about specific groups because then people think that I'm bashing on somebody when it's not bashing. It's just observations. And my observations are, I love China, but I don't like the way that they build stuff because it's typically like they just build massive structures with massive square footage. It's just this big open thing like this one. You want to call it a restaurant? Well, I call it a classic Chinese cafeteria because it's like cafeteria style. It's just massive inside, full of tables, big open space, and yeah, it's like a cafeteria with Chinese people. It's loud and food on the floor and people smoking. And it's not the nice part of China. So, with that said, no, they go out in the countryside and they build huge factories and huge. I just don't think everybody wants to see development, but I don't think development's the answer. Everyone, look at us. We've developed to the point where in the U.S., like, what's left? You know? What the heck? Oh, I don't know. The whole development thing, you develop so much that you like. Now look at the U.S. I don't know, man. We thrive in small communities and this whole develop. Nothing wrong talking about politics. It's not supposed to be politics. With laws and how they handle relations with others. Yeah, politics is fine. It's just people are sensitive to certain things like politics, religion, their diet. Fine. So, I like to talk about everything. So I just notice if somebody's like getting uncomfortable, then I just change the subject. 'Cause not everybody has great control over their emotions. So, as far as you've seen Chinese in the rural areas. You just see mostly like if you drive around now, you just see like an industrial park out of nowhere, and it's a Chinese industrial park. So yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like talking about it, then I have to be like, well, the U.S. does the same thing because they do. So it's you know, superpowers, big countries expanding into other countries where they can get cheaper labor. That's what it is, you know. Uh, yeah, I don't even know what to say. I just have so many. I have my own opinions. I lived in China. I love certain things about the culture and people and stuff, and certain things I'm not a big fan of. Uh, I just wish that they come and they'd be part of. They'd be part of like the local, and integrate into local society. That's the biggest issue. With like they don't tend to integrate too much. They tend to just try to make little China everywhere they go. Which, yeah, uh, fortunately, yeah, is what it is. Mm, I don't know how they better the rural areas. The whole point of the rural area is that's the rural area is what makes it nice. I don't know. We're on a different page here. The rural area is what makes it nice. Doesn't anybody see this? Like you're forced to be in these cities to work for the man. Like the rich get to live out in the nice, clean nature. Like, why do we want to develop everything into a nasty city? Let's keep the nature. Let's keep, you know, all the chemicals and junk out so we can actually eat real food. Hello, stay safe. Thanks, my man. I appreciate it. There's good and bad people in every race and culture. That's true. There is. Like, it's just, you just got to be present and aware. Like, I mean, I'm not going to say that, yeah, there's good and bad people. Like, every day I get faced with people that are trying to do something nice for me, which is lovely, and then people that are trying to take advantage of me, which stinks when you are in another language because until you calibrate yourself to what's going on, like I think you get taken a lot of times. I've been taken many times thinking like, how do I say it? Just wanting to be nice and approachable and come off as a friendly person. But then you realize that they're taking advantage of you. And then you have to say, oh, just because I speak the language and they're being nice to me and everything, and I think they're being friendly, doesn't mean they have nice intentions, And trust me, there'll be food involved, drinks, and everything seems fine, and you realize that they've tried to find a way to swindle you in a business deal. So it's good and bad. You just have to keep, be present with what you're doing. I had this situation. Let's put this way. I had a situation yesterday. Were they trying to really swindle me? No, not necessarily. But with closing on this house, they wanted to keep one of the bedrooms to store stuff. If anybody knows my first experience here, I had the landlord say, hey, we just want to we come by during the day and take care of the land and, make sure it's nice and everything. We got like some chickens, some pigs, this, that, and the other. No big deal. I'm like, yeah, come by, take care of your stuff. We'll see you later. They ended up being there all day, every day, taking care of the farm. And that's what they lived off of. And I'm paying rent to rent a private home. So then when I've been looking for other homes, I had multiple people say, hey, you mind if we leave some stuff? No, this is the house I'm renting. Why would I rent for you to keep stuff there? Because what happens is this little deal. They like to do this, man. And so they're asking me, oh, we don't have anywhere to put it. I'm like, oh, I want to rent the whole house. I don't want to rent the whole house and one bedroom for you. And then you're calling like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to bother you. I know, just once in a while. We won't bother you. Won't bother you. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. You're going to ask to come get your stuff. You're going to come around. No. So I just had to tell them no. Very straightforward. and be aware. Because at first, my first, oh, am I making a big deal out of this? What if they pull out of the deal and this, that, and that? It's like, no, people will just, I hate to say it, people are just going to try to see what they can get, and you got to be very straightforward on what you got to do. Barry, how long are you staying in Lumpur? Well, we have our rental that we've just closed on. That'll be a year, but I just see myself long term with a house here because it's exactly what I want. It's really just checking all the boxes, like the nature right at my doorstep. I can walk outside and I'm in the mountains, like home. Like it's a little bit of a, it's not home. It's not the Rocky Mountains, but it's tropical mountains. It just is something different, walk outside. I never felt so happy with just everything. Like walk outside, I jump on my bike, I got the mountains that I can ride through, and then I can use Chinese with people everywhere. I can learn Northern Lao. Got Lao here. You got Hmong everywhere. All the different cultural things going on as a cultural hub here. It's got everything a city you could ask for. Like super interesting city with new little spots popping up, restaurants and stuff. Small enough city that you can still get from basically the airport to the main center or anywhere up on the mountainside, anywhere you want to go and enjoy yourself. Probably not more than 15 minutes to get there. Yeah, I really like the atmosphere. Just like 9 years ago as I came here, there was nothing here. I didn't think it was a very viable option. Now it's got all these trendy little restaurant bars and stuff. Like it's just really cool. And the colonial French influence on it, like that was a big draw in the first place in the past, but it just didn't have anything here at all. Now it does. Now it does have like some different types of foods. Like we have sushi, we have all kinds of different types of foods, all kinds of different restaurants and little bars. Like, yeah, it doesn't even feel like Vientiane. It just feels like it really feels like it could be like a next trendy spot, like a Chiang Mai, like I love it. I absolutely love it. And we'll see. I think I'll definitely have at least a place up here for sure as I travel around. And the weather's so nice. It's so much cooler. And with fresh mountain air, it's much cooler. It hasn't rained like it was raining out south. Like it's not raining right now. It rains days here and there and shower here and there, but mostly you can get out and do stuff. I love this city. Really love this city. And there's lots of volunteer opportunities. So if anybody's interested in helping out places, I'm going to be showing you guys all these cool places that you can go give your time and help people of all ages. So I researched Thai room into a private bathroom is average $50 a month in non-tourist area. That sounds nice. And right in front of a Thai boxing gym and food stalls. Sounds very nice. Go for it. Yeah, I mean, $50 is pretty cheap. That's pretty crazy cheap. There's stuff like that here. $50 is really cheap. Usually something that cheap is usually only in like row housing. What they call Hong Tao. Hong Tao in Thai and Hong Tao in Lao. It's a row house, like we're not really familiar with those back home. A lot of people aren't, at least that grew up where I grew up the second half of my life. I grew up the first half of my life till I was like 11, 12 in Missouri, Southwest Missouri. And yeah, like housing, government housing, apartments. Like I didn't really see that when I moved to the suburbs of Utah when I was 12. But before, I used to see all that stuff. And you had like duplexes, I don't even know what to call them, but just call them duplexes. I don't know if hardly even saw duplexes in Utah. But yeah, you'll get like a little room in one of those. There's places here like that in Luang Prabang. I was gonna, my backup plan was if we didn't find somewhere before Martin has to go back to Thailand and get his stuff, he was gonna come back and we continue looking. If we couldn't get something, I was gonna go stay in one of these row houses. There's places I've seen several different ones, $150, $170. not 50 bucks, 150, 170 bucks, but fully furnished and everything included. That's why it's expensive, because you're dealing with a English speaking landlord, and it's going to have everything included, Wi-Fi, electricity, everything. But if you do a $50 one, you're going to have to probably do everything with it. You're probably going to have to furnish it and you do your own internet and all that stuff. Like, I can't imagine that there's one for 50 bucks with all of it included. But hell, $50. Yeah, I was kicking myself for that first year. I chose a place I thought I wanted to be in, like a little farmhouse. I just didn't know that I'd have people living with me the whole time. So in hindsight, I was like, damn, it would have been so nice as I was getting ripped off too. I was paying like over 200 bucks for that place when you can get a full house to rent in the middle of the city in Vientiane for 200 bucks. So yeah, they really took advantage of me, knowing that, that's what happens. You think people have your best interest. Don't trust anybody. I'm telling a lot of you guys have family here, and I've seen countless people come here and their family ripped them off. So don't trust your family. Most families see you as a piggy bank. It's not a big deal to them. They don't think they're really ripping you off. They just think, oh, they have money. Like, this is what they can afford. So, yeah, don't trust anybody. And look into it yourself. That's why I said don't go into something like a long-term rental when you first get here, unless it's like you're saying, Keely, like a $50 a month little row house. That works. You're not getting ripped off. Really, something like that, really. Especially if you're in front of food stalls and boxing gym. That's ideal. Oh, chill. This live stream can't end up like the Twitch or Twitch. What's the other platform? Anyway, I had a friend come through that's a streamer, and I'm contemplating streaming because then everybody could see what's really going on. It's hard for me to include everything that goes on in my videos because the video is only like 15, 20 minutes. And I also have to decide what I'm going to keep in for translation purposes. Like how much time do I want to spend on translation? So yeah. But people were brutal in those chats. Live, people just saying whatever they want. You couldn't bother me. Like, come on. I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest of 7 kids. I got 4 younger brothers and 2 younger sisters. Trust me. And I lived all over the world. Like, I've just been around some people attack me for a million different reasons. So like you could say whatever you want. It ain't gonna bother me. But you're not gonna get emotional reaction. So I mean, I laugh because it's funny. Like, to me, it's just shit talk. It's just shit talk because we can't be serious. Like, honestly. Because if you're in person, nobody's gonna talk the way they do to people online. We can be more polite, right? We enjoyed your latest vlog at the temple. It was a good perspective of the temple culture. I really enjoyed that, making that video. I'm sorry it took me so long to get out. It was such a lovely experience. I wanted to participate last year, but yeah. I'm just really the type of person, like, I want things to happen naturally. And that doesn't mean I can't seek it out myself, but the whole temple thing, I was like, I want to go with some local people, like, that can, show me the ropes and explain some things. That didn't really happen, but there was a level of comfort of like, I'm sitting with the family there than just sitting on trying to join somebody. And that's not a problem though. Okay, I want to say this. If you're interested in Lao culture, which I assume most people are, and you're curious about coming here, I would highly recommend people to go to the Lao Thai temple in the US. I'm trying to push that in my videos. I don't want to be an influencer. Please, nobody refer to me as an influencer. I don't want to influence people, but yes, I'd highly recommend people to go to the temple. And that's a great way to get to know people. For me in this video, I really wanted to be with a local family. I just thought it would be much better. And that's kind of how I approach things. Like, Some things I seek out on my own, but with stuff like that, I really would like to be invited with a friend, and different. It's a different experience than just jumping in there. I hate smoking. I got skin allergies against smoking. It's itchy. What is this? Yeah. Well, good. Don't. That could be a challenge. Just don't rent any rooms after Chinese folks. You're talking about the Chinese. I actually had people. He kept telling me about this. My landlord here was trying to show me a place. Kept saying, "Oh, the Chinese just moved out. I've been cleaning it. It's really hard." I said, "So why are you showing me this? Like, you're really like, I know it, you know it, and so why are you showing me?" And of course, you get there, and it was just like, "Oh my lord." There's nothing you can do when people have chain smoked in that place for years. They've cleaned the heck out of it. Sure, probably should have talked. Yeah, I talk about what I want, and everybody can tune in, or I just hope everybody can just chill. Let's just enjoy the conversation. I like Luang Prabang speaking. It does. It's such a beautiful accent. You wouldn't think so because it's like it's taking away that they have one less tone in the Luang Prabang accent. Now I'm not expert on this stuff yet. This is just what I've read. I know. I think a lot of people don't even know like the extent of my language studies, but yeah, a lot of like university research. I've read a lot of different things, guys. It's not just like online stuff, deep into studies, different the dialects. Because mostly when you go into dialects, it's people that like linguistic stuff, and it's research from people, so it's not like a book for language learning. And there's one less on that topic. There's from what I read, there's one less tone. They've taken that, say in the words to sell or drug kai, which is to sell, or drug ya in Lao. That's not Thai. But when you do the Long Prabang accent, they lose that low rising tone I, and it becomes kai kai han kai ya pat kapao mu. It's beautiful. It's so cute. I don't know. I enjoy it. Oh, Lord, Lord. Let's get on to these comments. I'll stop talking too much. Just enjoy Lao culture, Lao people outside city. I'm from Laos, been living there. Vietnam, Thai, Chinese, any problem. If I want to go to Laos to see China and see, yeah, that's true. That's true. Like there is the Chinatown in Vientiane, and I went and rode all over it, and it was fascinating. And I meant to make a video, but I haven't made one. I don't know. It's interesting, but at the same time, it's a little like it's that area in Vientiane is like just development. It's just like construction, and it looks so different than the rest of Vientiane. It's just throwing up skyscrapers and I'm not gonna lie, guys. There's a lot of good Chinese food. There's a lot of shit Chinese food, and number one problem is you're using machine oil and vegetable oil to poison people. So that's not really their fault. That's the whole world for promoting that poison. But that's a big problem with China, really. And that's when you get to the area. And even here, constantly you walk outside and it's like the first smell you get is from this Chinese restaurant. It just smells like burning oil, like vegetable oil. It's just, ugh. I despise that stuff. Uh, but yeah, that's why I haven't really been back in that area. I think it's interesting. It'll be cool to talk to people. Sometimes it's just a little depressing. It's just like really like a construction zone. You're just like, wow. So I understand. There's no, but I mean, it's some parts are cool. I get it. Just enjoy Lao culture. Living with everybody gets along pretty well, you know. Like the Vietnamese are completely integrated. That's what's interesting. Is like the Lao have mingled and mixed with everybody around, right? But they're very open about mixing with the Vietnamese and like the other ethnic groups, and much less about with the Chinese. So I don't know, like especially here, like you go all around, and a lot of the food vendors, a lot of the vendors at like the market, they'll be Vietnamese, Lao, yeah, like you'll know right away when they start speaking because they'll start pronouncing things like, for example, by muya. You guys know muya, right? Usually comes in like a cylinder type of looking like sausage. Muya. They'll say, because they also have this in Vietnamese, but they say mu zao, which, yeah, in Vietnamese, zao. So it's interesting, and they're very much integrated. And there are Mandarin speakers, which in Thailand I found that usually they weren't Mandarin speakers, but in Laos it seems like a lot of the Chinese families that have been over here for a long time, they're Mandarin speakers. Like I go down the road and just be like, hear Mandarin coming out of the shop, and like that was surprising because typically immigrants would not be the Mandarin speakers. They're like Hokkien or Fujian or different dialects. And we're back to that anyway. I have a best friend, 20 years now, from Shanghai. That's where I worked for a year and a half, 2 years. He mentioned his uncle buying land in Laos and opening up a business. I said they're going to learn Lao language. He said no. They rarely learn any Lao. It'll be like very basic, which is strange because for Lao people or Chinese people, learning each other's language is like 1,000 times easier than coming from an English background. It's like, we try to learn Spanish. Learning a language depends on what your mother tongue is, and so for them learning Lao or Lao learning Chinese, it's much easier. Yeah, a lot of times they don't. They don't really eat Lao food. They don't speak the language. They just Chineseify everything. It's yeah. And what I mean by that is, I hate to get too much into it because China is really difficult. Like so much I like, but there's so many aspects that I'm not a huge fan of. Yeah, they don't really, because of the Cultural Revolution, they don't really have a strong religion. So their religion kind of is just money, and how that mingles into like the traditions and stuff that they have kept along. And so it's just like everything's just like about prosperity and money and so yeah, they do very well. They stick together, and in reality, if we did this in the States, we'd be better off. And I talked to my parents about it when I came back from living in Asia. I was like, it's very strange. Like it kind of seems like the government's trying to keep us down, and the rich family's rich because if we wanted to become richer, wouldn't we, instead of all moving out and paying our own separate bills, we just continue to build your, you can continue to build your out. But no, we don't. That's what the Chinese do, and people don't like it. But I think, that's why 3 generations, they could be like multi-million-dollar family or like billion-dollar, because, they're just building on each generation instead of like each generation start over and do your own thing. I see value in both. In Chinese owned area. I told him if they don't learn language. Yeah, there is. That's what happens. It's exactly what happens. If you don't interact, you don't integrate, then people are just gonna be, the locals are just gonna be like, not think very highly of you. Yeah. Yes. You got it. Spot on. Yeah. It's true. And there's people that do. I just get scared, man. Guys, I'm all about we just want good things for people, and I'm not saying it's just the Chinese, but it's like I guess I seen with my own eyes, and the human trafficking, Chinese coming for young wives, like there is an issue, if you guys don't know, that there's way more men than women in China, so it's very popular for them to, take wives from wherever, whether Russian or Lao or whatever they can get. A lot of these guys got money, and there's not really any women's rights in China either, so it just gets scary. Like, yeah, uh, abuse here isn't a thing. So that's one thing that's mentioned a lot for people is like, yeah, you get a lot of women saying they don't like Lao or Chinese men or whatever. They don't like men for certain reasons because they're physically abusive, and that's a thing out here, and it's not enforced in any way. So I keep going on random tangents. I rent a house in Laos. I want to grow my own food. I have a do OB in your backyard, some chickens. You could easily do that. Easily do that. That's what I dream of doing here. That's what I dreamed of doing here before I got here. Just like self-sustainable. My own stuff. Because you can't trust anything coming from anybody else these days. I don't trust any food, from coming from any companies, anybody else these days. And yeah, okay, the argument is everybody else is eating it, you're fine. Great, you're fine, that's cool. Everybody lives their happy life, but I don't want to eat their food and have cancer down the road or any diseases and all that stuff. Food without chemicals, whole foods from the source. I think you're gonna live like physically strong and healthy if you stay active and eat good food until well over 100. That's my opinion. But you eat all this trash and never exercise, then you're gonna die like 70. How much your house rental costs a month? It depends on what you get. Mine, this place I got right here, this 2-bedroom is $400 for the month, but that's just like a one-off monthly rental. Yeah, the one we're going to be renting, we're paying it all up front. So I mean, we're both. Neither of us are rich. Martin's just living off Social Security. I barely make anything off of YouTube, but we're gonna make it happen. So it might be a slow process in getting everything fixed up. But if you guys come stay, that's the whole point of me opening it up, is because if you come, it puts us in a position to fix it up, but then it's paid for if somebody's like stays with us. And I'm not gonna charge a lot. Like, yeah, I think it'll be a very fair rate compared to everything else. You're not gonna find stuff here for less than $50. If you're looking for a hotel, you can find stuff for less than $50 for sure. But yeah, whatever you want to see. Depends where you want to live. You can get it. I've stayed in places here just like a little hole in the wall room for 100 and something thousand. So yeah, we're not going to charge a lot. Our rent, I think, for the whole year, it was at $3,800 is what they wanted. The other house that we had put a deposit on that was on the hills, that was on the mountainside, was $1,450 for the whole year for 2 bedrooms with one of the most incredible views I've ever seen. But it came with the road that they said that they were going to be paving in the fall. There's no guarantee when it will be paved though for us. So a challenging road, small bedrooms, but for less than $1,500, you have your own home with a huge. That place would have just been amazing. We didn't go with it, but it would have been amazing. The garden area would have been, you have your family, friends sitting in the garden, food, and you're looking out at the mountains. Now our place now, we'll have the view. It'll be on the balcony when we get to this new place. Double the price. They lowered the price. They lowered the price of both of them. The first one started at $1,700. I went through the house and said, we're gonna have to put in this. I said, okay, the lowest we can go is this. I didn't negotiate more than that. I'm sure you could press, but I don't see the point in pressing them when the rent is so low. I don't press them on that. Then I can press them on the things that actually matter. Like when I need something important done. So yeah, we're gonna have to put a lot of stuff in this new place, but it's just like when they asked me to have a room to keep stuff in. I was like, look, now, like, we're renting the whole house. We got a lot of stuff we're gonna invest into it, and we're not gonna get anything back out of that. Like all the units, the little aircon units and stuff. Well, we're gonna strip them and take them with us. No, we're gonna leave those for you. So we're adding value to their home. Yeah, my main thing is just rent us the house and leave us alone. Typically in Laos, people love to come around, and you're just like, I don't want that relationship with my landlord. I don't. I feel like very professional is just it's just so much easier. Like take care of things. As soon as it becomes friendship, then it's like yeah, hard to get anything done. So yeah, and people just love to just wander around your place. It's like that's okay when it's just neighbors and stuff. I just don't like it when it's like oh, I just had so many problems in the past. Just show up whenever they want. You're like I have a friend here. Like oh, it's cool. You can hang out with your friend. I'll just hang out. No. Like you're on a date or something, or even like anything. It just random showing up. No. You can do it really cheap if you're looking for a place here. Heck, there was a place up on the side of the mountain that I kind of kicked myself for not contacting them earlier. They were going for $130. That one might have been even. It didn't compare to this other one on the mountain side because it didn't have a view or anything, but it was $130. The inside of it was perfect for the year. Oh, not for the year. For the year, it was more, $103 a month. So the rent you can get here if you use a language or can get a friend, somebody that's using the language isn't trying to sell you as them as an English speaking client or English. They're not. We'll move on. I heard EV cars are now in Laos. That's true. Do you know what's the cheapest EV car in Laos now? I do not. Sorry, but there's cheap ones. They start a couple $1,000s. It's like, yeah, they're pretty cheap, and there's getting more and more stations around. How long did it take you to learn Laotian? I already knew Lao before I came here, but not at a fluent level. At like a taxi conversation level. How would you put it? Like I can have a riveting conversation with a taxi driver, but outside of that conversation of what you talk with the taxi driver usually about, like family, food, basic stuff, my ability broke down real quick. So I'd always wanted to improve it, and I tried back in the States, but it was really frustrating back in the States because a lot of people would just revert right to Thai. They just wouldn't give me the time of day in Lao, and most people couldn't spell anything. Most people were illiterate. So, the reason I didn't learn Lao, which is actually a tragedy in itself, is Lao was split by the French, who split Lao from Thailand, and then Thailand's like, oh, well, you're Thai, and all the Isan people lost their language. Because you ask people what's this word? How you spell it? They can't spell their word because they learned Thai in school. They don't know how to use the Lao system, which is the same. It's just you just got to know how it works. Same system. It's just the rules change for this tone marker. So same system, very easy. And I learned quick when I got here, very quick. I mean, I was already able to speak, so it's just a matter of getting my ear tuned, getting like used to my mouth moving and it flowing out easily. So I'd say yeah, 6 months if that. Like for Lao, like I just didn't get out much the first 6 months, so my ability wasn't very good. Once I started getting out and talking a lot more, then it came real quick. Out of all the places you visit, and what made you choose Lao? Well, my first experience was out on the East Sun, and I just fell in love with it. And I was, we were required to learn. How do I put it? Yeah, like I said, the same thing. I was learning Thai and Lao at the same time, and I just loved Lao. Like I landed in Isan, and all my friends they like try Lao food, and they'd be like, "This is like so different, so strange." I tried tanghung pala the first time. I was like, "Yeah, this is delicious," and everything I tried, like tom sab, like with the innards, everything was like, I love this. And then I heard people speaking Lao, and like, damn, that's cool. Like Thai to me sounded like poetry, and then these people spoke Lao, and it was like, how do I put it? Like bluegrass. It just had this like twang. It was like different music, but this like cool twang to it. I loved it. So yeah, I'd always dreamed of one day being fluent and being able to live in a Lao speaking environment. And I dreamed about being here in college. Like I was that college kid reading books about people growing up in Asia. I'd read autobiographies about people growing up in Burma, and I was just reading all about it, all about this different. I just thought, oh, how cool it would be to live there and be immersed in it. So uh, here we are. Finally, we got here. I've been to all the other countries. I lived in all the other countries. I've lived in Thailand. I lived in China. I lived in Vietnam. And Lao, I just researched over and over and throughout the years, but it always looked like, oh, how am I going to make enough money to survive? How am I going to make a living? It looked impossible. And then there's no information. It's like, I don't know how to do it. And then you come here and you realize, oh, okay, it's not that hard. Now, getting a job here is, if you work online, you're set. But getting a job here is not a thing, guys. Sorry. But get a job online. Do something online. Come here. Spend less than $1,000 a month for everything. Have your own house, own garden with beautiful, my gosh. And then save all the money you make. That's what it is. That's my recommendation to people. If you're curious about Lao, you don't have to be here forever. But what does it hurt to come for a year? Like, you're probably gonna save more money, even your, I'd say two, because the first year is usually more expensive in the beginning. You're gonna spend more trying to get settled in, but you're gonna save so much money if you have any sort of income from back home. Oh, is this gonna get personal? Why is your name Keely Smith and how old? What is that? Why? Her parents gave her name Keely Smith. What do you mean? How old are you? Okay, that's why. Let's all remember. I don't think there's anything impolite going on here, so I'll just leave it. You guys can do what you're gonna do. But yeah, we're all here for the same reason. Well, my extended family, I don't care if they rip me off. If they're in poverty, I'm not. I mean, I'll spend. You do really? I mean, it doesn't feel good. You'd rather them just ask straight up, like than find out down the road and be like, that's not a good feeling. I don't know. I had people when I came here I really trusted and found out they're just like making deals and making money off the top of every deal, and I'm like, damn, that relationship's over. It's treat me like, oh, you're my son, I take care of you, everything, and then you're behind the scenes making it, not just getting like a referral fee is always okay. That's not what I'm talking about. You should get paid if you're making a referral, get paid a little percentage, but to be taking a monthly bit off the top, that is some dirty business, man. You tell me my rent's this much and you're paying the landlord that much, you're taking some off of the top of that. Like, you're supposed to be here to help me, not make money off of me. That's up to you. You got to manage your own, like what you're good with your family. That's your personal decision. But I'd just say, hmm, here more, just like anywhere, but for sure here. If you give a mouse a cookie, you ever heard that story? It applies to the max here. So just know when you're being generous, like just try to be able to tell who you're being generous with, because it's not the end of it. I'm a genuine person. I think when I buy people, me too. I don't expect anything. Like, I think people get upset when they ask me to borrow small money or something. I don't borrow that type of stuff. Like, if I got it, it's yours. Go do it. Like, because I'm not gonna attach myself to somebody paying me back or that type of stuff. That is just a useless road to go down. Like, I'd rather just give it, and then there's no hard feelings. If I don't got it to give, then I don't got it. Sorry. Maybe once in a while I'll take care of you back once in a while. I'm happy. Give Chinese people. Oh man, I'm so far behind. Let's see. Let's not generalize so much. Most Chinese are dickheads. I've had a lot of like quality people. I've met some really quality people. So, and you think Southeast Asians are hospitable? Good Chinese people. Oh my goodness! Like you roll out the red carpet. My goodness, some of them didn't pay for a thing. Didn't pay for a thing. Host pay for everything. Wouldn't allow me to pay for nothing the whole time I was there. Uh, yeah, Chinese people are very kind people. Just gotta. There's a lot of things that are normal in China that I think kind of influence some people to take a bad path, and there's still a lot of great people though. They really do just care about their family, and they're family oriented. They want their family to do well, and they want to, they want to build. Like I think we say that in America, but I'm gonna say it again. Like we say we want to build, but then we allow ourselves to be separated from our families, and you know, to me, that's how you get people. That's how you weaken. You weaken people. You weaken their beliefs. You weaken their support system. And you just got everybody individualized so you can manipulate them. So no, I think there's a lot of good with Chinese people. A lot of good things. No bad things. Just give Chinese people some time. Take some time to send like kill 10 million Chinese in time. Yeah, they assimilate by their kids just becoming their local. So like the next generations assimilate. Yeah, I paid for my friend's son's martial arts club. I want to remember my country. That's awesome. That's awesome. I think everybody should do martial arts. I've done Muay Thai, but I want to do it properly where I actually like it's just a muscle memory if I ever need it. I just think there's a lot to be said about uh, being able to feel safe as a human being. Like you should always avoid the confrontation, but to know that if there was a situation, you're safe, it just reduces your level of stress so much, and you make much wiser decisions than you're scared. You basically just give. That's pretty funny. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You basically gave me a trigger whenever I want to piss you off. I'll keep mentioning influencer. I just have to remind myself, like, okay, you're just an observer here, sharing with people. You're not here to influence people's opinion in any way. So, yeah, I'll often edit stuff out, and I'll often catch myself talking and be like, these are my opinions, and these are what you'd consider as somebody trying to influence people in one way. So I try to take it out and try to just be like, this is what's going on, and let people make their own opinions. I heard a lot of Chinese people trick Lao into China. Yeah, exactly. This is why I have issues with it, and it bothers me. I don't want to talk too much about it. It's sad, when you see the underage prostitution and the trafficking and all that. And your first reaction is somebody's, yeah. You want to do something about it and you can't. What can I do besides put out a bunch of information online? And also could get me banned from the country, because if they didn't want it happening, the authorities would stop it. They would. And I don't want to put it on. I don't want to say that out loud. But just like they would stop the mafia in the Golden Triangle, the special economic zone. It's run and owned by the Chinese. The Lao government has a 20% stake in it. So, and that's where there's all the illegal activities going on in Laos. Trafficking, the illegal scam centers, they're tricks people from all over the world to come work there for a good job, but they just are trapped and are forced to do scam their own people. They trick people to come work there from whatever country around the world, and then now they got to call back and scam their own people. Underage prostitution, it's all run by the mafia. They just, the Golden Triangle, this is my area that I really was fascinated with in school. Golden Triangle, all the languages, but I can't talk about that stuff too much if I want to stay here. Go outside, grow vegetables and rice, catch fish and frogs better than us. That's where I'm coming from. Yes, that's right, and that's real life. Not to be an influencer, but that's what I hope that people can see that. I know that people tend to see just Lao like, oh, you see it as a paradise, oh, it's beautiful. But what I'm really trying to help people see is that how lost we've become in the States with thinking that we want all these conveniences, all this development. In reality, the best thing for us is to be working in our small communities together, growing your own foods, spending your time with your family, your kids, learning together, playing. Like, we've lost ourselves in this time. We've developed so much, we've completely lost what really we ought to be doing. Sorry, I just saw a comment. That was funny. But let's go to the next comment. I do agree with you if the old Chinese, like 40% old Chinese, saw habits and attitude in English. I hear the younger a lot better. They do. They do. I'd say anybody under 40 is going to be totally different. Because been rubbed shoulders with plenty of Chinese people at this point, living there and being in Asia. And I think under 40, they're very aware of what's going on at that point. They didn't grow up behind the firewall, even though it's there. They use whatever they need to use to see the outside world. And for the most part, under 40, they are pretty aware of what is appropriate and inappropriate. It's just just like anywhere, guys. Most of the time, the bad experience are coming from the older gen, 46, 40 plus, and they probably were in a very rural area. And then they got money because these rural areas all of a sudden they develop, and these people get some money, and yeah. $130 a month is still, yeah, exactly. That's why, me and Marin every day we're just looking at each other like incredulously, like, are we really gonna have a home that's paid for the whole year? Like a nice home? And we are. It's just like that feeling of like, okay, we're gonna have a nice home. Plus, it's so cheap. We could travel and not worry about paying like double rent, and it's just incredible. It opens you up to put your money into investing in yourself and your life instead of just giving it away for bills. So that's the plan. Like, nice home. Whatever money comes in from people staying, we'll make the place nicer so we can have a really nice place for people to stay. And yeah. Also, all the money just goes into doing things here so we can do another adventure here too. Maybe whatever. We haven't had money enough really to do anything crazy, but we're still doing amazing things here, guys, off of just a little bit that this channel is making. And I can't thank you enough for that, because this is my dream, and I'm living it, and I'm loving every second of it. And I felt bad every day I didn't put out a video because I feel a responsibility to do that to you. You guys have helped me get here, so uh, yeah, I gotta get myself behind the computer and put these videos out because I could spend all day, every day out there doing stuff. That's me. That's where I thrive. But we gotta force ourselves to get behind the computer. You are 100% thousand right on that. My senior for this Chinese love money and its number one religion. I have a better attitude in China than my Chinese friend doing the procedure of this country. I think Chinese people that have escaped China have a different view for sure if they feel like they've escaped. I feel bad for Chinese people. I'm not gonna lie, like it's pretty rough for them, with the social credit score, social the system there. Like, try to be successful there, man. But yeah, their religion is definitely money. It's very clear. Pretty clear. And it's pretty sad because they had such a rich culture for thousands of years, and then the Cultural Revolution just obliterated so much. Lao language is more slang. Sure. I mean, I think it'd be fun to do a video where I've seen a lot of those videos. I always thought they're fun to do, like Thai and Lao comparisons and stuff. Yeah, because they are. It's not really slang, man. It's just different vocabulary words. Slang. I would love an example because I don't know. I'm trying to think if I even know any Lao slang. Somebody give me an example here. Lao is more slang. You should end all your YouTube videos eating Lao food. That, my friend, would not be a hard challenge for me. I'm always eating something, I'm sure. I have a Chinese wife. Yeah, I hear that same thing from Lao now. Video Chinese said Lao people will just come wander into your house and right through your door if it's not and try to find you. Yeah, man. Like I've had so many Lao people and Thai people and everybody in Asia usually says it's like, oh, you Americans really love your privacy, and it's like I'm like, yeah, I love people and I love being around people, but I don't like being like, hey, I just got out of the shower. Nice to see you. Like, what the fuck? Maybe like, hey, I'm coming over. Like, we're not even friends like that, Like if it was my best friend, no big, like even good friends, like no big deal. But like, we aren't friends like that, all the time. It's like 6:30 in the morning, 6 in the morning. They're out there doing something with the farm. That place, man, was just a nightmare with them. And I knew from that point forward that every rental had to be so clear about exactly how things were going to go because they were going to try to stretch it as much as possible to try to keep it. I mean, I'd show up there and they'd have people there out drinking, eating, and stuff, and I'm like, yep. I just went and worked all day, come home 8:30 at night, looking forward to cooking some food and relaxing. And got people out in my front yard having a party, like, come join us. Oh, I tried to call you. You're like, listen, yeah. Yeah, they don't have any idea of respect for price or cultural thing, I guess. And it is. They're just like, what's the big deal? It's just like, we're just eating, we're just having a time. Like, yeah, but do it your place, not my place. But I would probably hate the privacy invasion if I had lived in Laos. I could be humping my girlfriend. I thought you were a girl. Fuck, my bad. Shit. How do you say your name? Is you, man? This whole time? No way. Yeah, you're not lying, man. I'm not gonna read that out loud, but you ain't lying. That's kind of what I referred to in a way. Like, I did have a friend over, but it wasn't like that. It was just a date, but just like trying to sit down and chat, and then like oh, we'll just continue doing what we're doing. I'm like, first of all, I told you I didn't want you here on the weekends. I don't need you to come clean. Not at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, 7 o'clock. Like just everything about it was just a nightmare. Like, just leave me be, please. I pay my rent. That's funny. That's very funny. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or let's say less of an issue like my last house where they were using it to they were using the farm there to live off of. Let's take it down a notch where it's not like that. But this other place I stayed, which is this place, I said, yeah, of course you guys want to rent it long term. Just let me know. You guys can bring people around. He just showed up anytime he wants. Anytime he wants. All of a sudden, there's people walking through my room. I got shit everywhere. You're like, yo, dude, you can bring people around, but just a message. Let me know. Like, I'm a pretty clean person. You catch me, you just come at a random time, and it's just like, I don't know. It's just a weird feeling, like somebody walking through your bedroom with your clothes on your bed, like, or it's just messy. It's just like, nah, come on, right? So yeah, I really learned my lesson. Like, you really have to be there if you want your privacy. You're gonna have to kind of. I told Martin, like, I feel like I'm going over the top, like I used to do with the start of the school year with students, because you had to be like over the top with them, strict, and like it's gonna be this way, and then you slowly ease off. Otherwise people just start testing your limits. What can I do? What can I do with it? It's like, no, you can't show up at my house unannounced. Yeah. Definitely had many embarrassing moments. Like, yeah, here. I've had many, even at this place, I've had many embarrassing moments. Like, he's just out there, like in my front yard, and I walk on a towel, like, yo. It's different, man. They're so used to this, like living very communal, like with their family. Like, like a lot of times with the Lao family, you got your property, and it's just like they build a bunch of houses. So you just got families all living in the same little piece of land. So used to just being on top of each other. And I think for Americans, it's just really, really uncomfortable. Like, I think even if you're very, very open and love to have people around, which I do, like, I don't want to do that because I like to have people around. I like feeling, I'm from a big family. I'm used to it. I feel weird when it's like nobody around all the time. I'm comfortable being by myself, but I like having people around. Not necessarily have to talk, but just, I'm used to that. But not like that, not like that. So just be aware if you're feeling like very American, or even if you are feeling like you are happy with people around, just be aware that if you let people know that you're cool, as you're friendly, like I was before. I'm friendly, I'm nice. They'll be there a lot. They'll be there a lot. The next time you want to, just enjoy sitting in your room, your home naked, that ain't gonna happen, Anyway, we went 2 hours, guys, and I'm glad we did, because last time we didn't really have a bunch of people. I was like, wow, I let the chat go, I let my channel go too long without posting a video, without having a live stream. But you know what that means, guys? There's a yin and yang in all things, and since we didn't do much this last month, it's gonna be a big month for you. So stay tuned. I got video after video that you're gonna see in the videos. Like, if you think I was happy in the other videos, you'll see in these videos. This is my place. So I'm excited to see you guys out here. Again, if you're looking for a room, I've got 3. So let me know. We can figure it out. I'm pretty much starting it at $50 a night. But if you have a reason that you should be cheaper, you let me know. I I'm a reasonable human being. Like, especially right now, if we still have stuff to fix and whatnot, like, probably might be cheaper. But and this is also low season. Once it gets to the high season, it gets super expensive in Mumbai. You know, most hotels like 100. You're lucky if you can find something if you book in advance for $100 a night. So, yeah. Where are we going here? Man, the comments come late on me. That's the problem. The more video you put out, the faster your channel will grow. You're right. That's all it is. That's all it is. I got no excuses. I just wasn't putting those videos out like I should have been this last month. And I know that's all it is. If I consistently put out videos, then I will grow. Because I personally think that for a channel to grow, you just have to be doing something really passionate about and it come across on camera. And I think that it does for me. So I have no doubt that my channel will grow just depending on how diligent I am about getting the videos out. I love being out and about, guys. Sitting down is tough. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it because then you know what it means. You know what happens if I do this? I grind away. This channel will grow, and I'll be able to hire a local person to work with me, change their life because they'll have a great job with me, and yeah, start making a team. Thai is full of slang. New words are added every year. I know. I've just seen like people using a bunch of slang that I never. This new because I hadn't heard it before. What was it? One was like chum. What they used to chum mak. Chum. Was it chum or chum? One of them. I heard a bunch of new slang recently. Oh well, it always kind of makes sense when I hear it because I just didn't. They now using it as a slang word. Interesting. I think it is chum. Chaw ching sala. I ate chum. Chama. I heard a bunch of them. What was the other ones I heard? Yeah, see what happens. You learn the slang, you hear the slang, you don't use it. I've forgotten already. I'm sure if I heard it, I'd know. What's the hardest hike you've done? Ha! Ha ha! Oh man, I wish Martin was here for this one. Yeah, well, I kind of was dumb and risked my life the other week in Nonkyo. You guys will see that video. That was pretty terrifying. It really was. I don't recommend the hikes here during the rainy season if it's a tough hike. I learned from myself. Hey, if you don't push the envelope, you never know, but it is always good to listen to people's advice. I was advised not to go by several people, and it really should be closed. And I got to the base of the hike, and the local guy there had told me it was very dangerous, especially as you hike up to the second peak. And then I came down and I asked him why it wasn't closed because I went to the first peak and I was not going to that second peak, even the first peak. Like, I'm not one to ever turn back on an adventure. I'm pretty like, I've made the decision I'm going to do this. Just as a rule of thumb, like if I speak it into existence, it's going to happen. I was that close to coming down because it was that scary. It was like climbing. I was like a monkey just scaling the mountain. Like the mountain hikes here. First of all, they're not like what you're used to back home. I don't know where everybody's coming from, but for me in the Rocky Mountains, you're used to like up trail and you just like hike up, and then you have spots where it maybe is like a little bit more steep. But here, these limestone mountains, it's just like climbing a sheer cliff. So it's just like limestone, and it's a jungle too. So it's just like roots of trees and limestone rocks, and then the other whatever rocks are in there with the red mud that's here. This red dirt that's here, it's super slippery. When it's wet, it's super slick mud, and when it's dry, it's also super slick. So it's always slippery. And it was so slippery to the point that I thought, even if it was dry, I would still feel nervous climbing this thing. This is just the face of a mountain. You're just like, they got a wire, like the rope, makeshift rope is made from like a thick electrical wire or something of some sort, cable wire. And it was raining. And if you slip off of where you're climbing, it's just like a ravine next to you with these limestone rocks. So like you've got no chance. You're not sliding down. You're going to be impaled. These rocks are super sharp. You can't even really like you. I was grabbing onto them because I didn't have a choice, but you could feel that if your hand moved at all, it was just going to slice it up. So I knew even if I slipped holding that my hand was going to get cut. But I still held it and grabbed roots and grabbed everything. But it was a very poor decision. Don't do that. Don't bother with the hikes if it's the rainy season. It's super dangerous. But can I add a photo in this chat? Oh shit! What did I do? Oh, maybe I can. That would be cool. Maybe give you guys a little single media. There's got to be a way. I would be sick if I could show you this photo just to give you an idea. I took some photos. Here's my phone. One moment. I think you guys deserve to see this. Where the heck did I put my phone? All right. First, I gotta airdrop it to my computer. Let's airdrop this photo because when you accomplish something like that, most people just say stupid, but yeah, it was stupid. But see, man, I felt like a superhero when I was at the top because it was so. And then going down was just like when my feet hit the flat ground. I've never in my life done a hike where my feet hit the ground and I was like, I was so glad to be off that mountain. Let's see. We got some photos. So many house photos. Let's see. All right, they're there. Can I airdrop them? Airdrop. Well, let's tease you guys with a bunch of stuff. These are the videos that are coming up, so you get to see a little sneak peek of the videos. Airdrop. Airdrop Mac. Yes, please. One. Is that a good one? Wow. All right, there's another one. Can I do videos? Can I just do pictures? I've never tried this. It says add item. What does that mean? Do I just throw it into? Oh. Do I just dynamic camera? So cancel. Present video file. Share screen. Can I share screen or do I have to pay for that option? Do I want to share screen? I don't have anything up that's questionable. No. All right, let me send these and then I can show you. Let's just share my screen. That's easy. There's 15 people here. I thought everybody left by the time I'd be doing this. I'm not waiting for this guy. Okay. Share. Airdrop. Share. Airdrop. Well, oops, let's get more than one at a time, can we? Just send them all. Who cares? Oh, select. I'm a dummy. Select. So these are photos from Nonkyo. I had man, if he's here, that'd be awesome. I don't think he ever watches the lives though, but a subscriber. Very, very incredibly kind person. What a man. What a man. But yeah, he came here. He got me a flight from down south. I didn't have to take the horrible sleeper bus, so I could fly out of Baksay instead of taking the sleeper bus. That was unbelievable. And then he decided he wanted to go up to Nonkyo and was like, let me just pay for everything and we'll go. I was like, snap. All right, I'm in. So he got us a van and we drove in a van with just us three, me and my uncle Martin and him. And yeah, either way, you get to see a spectacular view, an insane view on the way up there, just driving through the mountains. But sharing it in our own private van with just us three was special. Instead of being cramped in public transportation. But these photos are from a hike in Nonkyo. Yeah. All right, share screen. Share screen. Share screen. Entire screen. Oh, it's asking me for like permission and stuff. All right, yeah, allow. What is this? Million. Unlock. Okay, it's got permission to. You rat. Just have to quit and reopen. I don't want to do that. So maybe to just present and not. Slides. Well, we're learning on the fly here, guys. I'm sorry. Present. Well, we're going to do it anyways. Oh, yes. Oh. You guys see that? You're sharing another application window. It says I'm sharing it, so you guys see it? Oh, wait, let's see. Oh. I see me. I see that. Okay. It says, okay. Is it going to work if I do this? You guys see that? It's just showing the dang gum. Okay. Stop sharing. Nope. We're going to figure it out. I don't care. Stick around for 1 second. I think I have to exit and go back into here to make it work. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to go out of the stream. We're going to come back in the stream. That's okay. Entire screen. Allow. You guys see that? Yo, is it working? Yeah, I think it is. Ha! I can see me. Ha! Okay, this isn't the hike, but I also floated the river. They have platforms there. So this is just a little video of the platform. It was actually really hard to climb because it was wobbling everywhere. And also hard to jump because it was just moving everywhere. We're on the rafts. Like this restaurant's on the raft on the river. And yeah, they built this platform to jump off of, but it's just because it's on the river. It's just so that's why it's taking me a while to be like, I wanted to do more than just jump in, do some stuff, have some fun, but it's wobbling everywhere, man. I'm not that good. was a lot of fun though. We ended up floating down the river from about here, no, not here, over by that bridge down there. You see, we floated the river down to our accommodation in one video with Martin, 70 years old. That's hilarious. River's fast. Look how far it is before I come up. All right, here, onto the hike, Now for the hike. I only downloaded. Oh, send more photos. What am I doing? All right, select photos. Select. Select. All right, we'll just select them all and not pick and choose. All right, cool. Select. Let's go. Everything. First image. So this is called Nanon Sleeping Lady Peak. Sleeping Lady Peak. Nanon. It's not going to be pictures, actually. Oh, let's open them all at the same time. Awesome. Oops. Let's see. So, yeah, I didn't get any of the trail. You have to wait for the video for the trail, but you're going to see the first peak. This isn't even the second peak. I went to the first one. I didn't have any gear on, man. Like even then, I thought with proper hiking boots and everything, this is crazy. But there was a French group that went up there, and when I came down, the Lao local was like, "Where's the French people? Do you see them? I'm worried about them." Like, yeah, I heard them. So they're coming down behind me, but like I heard them when I was at the first peak coming down, and then I started coming down. I still heard them, but I haven't seen them at all. They're definitely on their way down. I couldn't believe they made it up to the second peak. Like, they got some cojones, man. Either that, or a lot of people that come here, they come specifically for the trekking and like that stuff. So they actually do bring proper gear. I was in a pair of Vans, and I like to wear Vans for everything because you can pretty much do anything in Vans, get out and venture and do everything I want to do. For me, it works, like mountain biking, skateboard, jump in the river, go hike and do everything. But they fail when it comes to being really slick, especially with like mud or water and all that stuff. So yeah, that was I wouldn't do that again without proper shoes. I thought it opened up. No. Oh, I've got 2 of 1. All right. Oh, what do we got here? I don't know what I'm showing you, so just bear with me. Just open them as we go. This is peak 1. Nonkyo, you're in a valley where the river cuts through the mountains there. It's an incredible spot to be. Highly recommend everybody experience it once in your life at least. Yeah, when I first got up there, I was having such bad. I was so scared that I wouldn't even walk to the edge of the platform. Like I'm not joking. I was so terrified climbing up it that I was gonna fall off the mountain. It's so slippery, and there's nothing like you're just climbing the path. You slip and you're into the ravine. So I was like, just had my adrenaline going. I think my mind got away from me. I was so scared that I had to focus on talking to myself. I don't know the last time I've been that like scared, where it's been a long time since I competed or did anything where I had to like shut off every other thing and just like, this is what we're doing. And yeah, so when I got up there, I wasn't coming anywhere near this edge. It took me 10 minutes before like I calmed down. I was like, oh, we're good. Next photo. Yeah, that's a bad photo. Oh, there's another junk photo. Screenshot. I just threw them all over here. See what we got. A little more hilarious. That was all right. The view is incredible. What's so incredible is that it's rainy season, but it tends to be this way a lot of the year anyway, because you're getting high up in the mountains as you go further north in Laos. But you have the rain clouds, like the clouds, even here in Lumpur. It's one of the things I love. You just have the clouds, like a mist sitting on the mountains, just such an atmosphere. And there, because it's situated right in that valley between the mountains, you literally have like the misty clouds just sitting there, and you'll watch them start moving, and then you'll see the rain down the valley pass around the bend. You'll see it. You'll see the clouds coming, and it just comes through, and you get a huge downpour, and you watch the clouds just go through the valley and pass by. And then when you're up on the mountain, it just magnifies that 10, 20 times what you can see. Watching the clouds just roll in and roll across one side of the mountains and rain and come across the other side. I spent probably 20, 30 minutes up there. It was just, I mean, I was already spending a lot of time down below at our accommodation, just sitting out there watching the mountains and the clouds and the scenery. But up there, it was something else. So I stuck around way longer than I usually would, just watching. Another bad photo. I should have picked ones to show you. I wanted to get a good shot, like seeing the river go through the valley. I suck at photos. This is why I never did social media in the past. Ever post anything on social media in the past. I can't try to make a serious face in a photo. It's so hard. That's a pretty good one. At least you kind of see. But we're going to get to the videos now. Can we watch this video on together? I'm sure we can. There's going to be no sound, but that's all right. Or maybe there will be. I think it said I'd use Chrome for sound. Sound on my computer, though. So, is it coming through? Look, everybody's already left the chat. What's this guy doing? Right now, the Mekong River is super murky. We're at probably about the highest it's going to be. It's flooding a lot of areas of Laos right now. By the way, a lot of people see the flooding stuff and they freak out. Like, it's pretty normal. Like, when you ride the train up here, when I rode the train up here, what's now? Wait, when did I ride? What's the date? August 30th, 5th, beginning of August. It's a stunning view. The whole way you're traveling, you're seeing you see the Mekong, you see different tributaries of the Mekong, and it's just overflowing. So just like the landscape's just like mountains and hills, lush green jungle covering the mountains and hills, and so much water that it's just like spreading all over the landscape. It looked like something out of a Lord of the Rings movie, or like just, you know, when it's like panning over, like just insane. So yeah, the river is very full, and you'll see in my video. You'll see in the video that we floated the river. In hindsight, pretty dangerous. But man, it was fun. For me, but for Martin, it was just a little scary. Wait, what did I say? You guys hear me in this one?
Crazy sex.
The craziest sex I've ever done.
Wet, slippery. The payoff. Wow, the clouds are clearing up. I couldn't see that before.
Look at that. Look at all the way back in there. And the clouds are coming in through. We got one more video. Same thing, but yeah. I try to get a video of the clouds coming through.
Just a second.
Dang, I didn't get a good shot. Oh, my bad, guys. Yeah, it'll like go completely clear and you see everything, and then all of a sudden you get these misty clouds rolling in. It doesn't even seem like a whole lot, because it just seems misty, but the mist rolls in and all of a sudden it starts to rain, and it's just such a different experience. I know I've experienced the rain out here in the tropicals, in the tropics, but this was another like different experience on top of that I'd highly recommend anybody that hasn't experienced monsoons or the rain over here. That's incredible, but this is even another level of like Mother Nature, just beautiful. All right, yeah, that's same stuff. All right, y'all. Sneak peek at Nongkeo. I got videos from here. I got videos in Nongkeo. Oh, this is awesome. I can share my screen. Stop sharing. That makes a huge difference. That makes things fun. I thought about like doing like a live and just make a live for people that were interested in Lao, like do like live lessons just for fun. Cause I love languages. I love sharing languages. I love talking about languages. And I feel like as soon as money is involved, then it just becomes no fun. It does. I don't know. I was a teacher for a long time, and the teaching business sucks. It sucks. You're as a teacher, if you really care, you're never going to get compensated. You never will get compensated, and that's a frustrating thing to deal with. To never be able to afford anything, but be giving all of yourself and your passion. So I would like to do that here. I would like to share what I find interesting with you guys. If anybody is interested in that, I'd love to hear some more. Maybe I'll put it out in the video, see if I can get anything. Because if I can share my screen like that, then we can do a Lao lesson. I've been just trying to figure out how I can actually record a proper Lao lesson with as far as the alphabet goes, because I've been doing translations and stuff, and I do stuff in my videos, but I'm like, I haven't even taught the alphabet yet, which everybody should know the alphabet if you're going to come live here. It makes life very easy. It's very easy to read Lao, and it's not this huge, unsurmountable task that people make it out to be. That said, we're up at 2 hours and 30 minutes. I'm starving. I'm so happy. Thanks for joining, guys. Made my day. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm probably going to be doing a lot of live streams this month. The plan is to just flood the internet with this content now that I got it, and keep the momentum going, because it's very easy, as you see, to get out from behind the computer and then not want to get back behind the computer. But I love talking to you guys. So let's look forward to sharing lots more about Lao. Love this channel. Love what we're able to do here. And thank you guys for your support, because without you, I wouldn't be able to do this. So, all right, guys. See you later. Martin, are you going to say hi to these guys or what? No.